Good afternoon, Mike the Vinyl Collector here. Today we're taking a look at an EP from 2026. This is Take Cover by Steve Purcell. Now, this is an EP of covers, hence the name Take Cover. Now, you may have seen Steve commenting on some of my videos before. Be sure to check out and follow Steve for some awesome guitar videos. So we started chatting and he asked if I'd review his new covers EP. So I started listening to it and, I've said this before. I've turned down reviews, and no offense to those people, it was just stuff that was in different genres that I'm really not into. And the point is that I don't want to be someone who will just say something nice about anything and everything. If I'm not into something, I'd much rather focus on stuff I'm into. So anyway, I started listening, and needless to say, a few seconds into his song titled I'm Ready, which you can find featured on www.stevepurcellmusic.com, I was like, hell yeah, I'll review this album. And I have to say, Steve, you are a ripper on guitar, my friend. So thank you so much for sending me a copy of this CD, along with a nice handwritten note. We got some decals, got a signed card, a couple of guitar picks, just really, really cool. As I mentioned, you can find this album on www.stevepurcellmusic.com as well as on Bandcamp. I'll add the link to this review. You can also find his first solo CD, Amplitudes, there as well. But anyway, I was talking to Steve a bit and asked him about his influences, which he cited as artists such as Tommy Emmanuel, George Lynch, Pat Travers, Ace Frehley, Gary Moore, and Chet Atkins. And you can absolutely hear those influences throughout this EP. Steve's out of Nashville, and he had mentioned to me that he's played with the Ron Keel Band for over 18 years now. And before I asked, he mentioned that he has done the Yngwie Malmsteen stuff when they play that earlier Steeler stuff. And Ron Keel actually makes a vocal appearance on this album, which I'll get to shortly. Otherwise, Steve's on vocals. We also have some other special guests like famous LA session guitarist Steve Trovato and Donnie Van Stavern on bass. Donnie's currently the bassist of the rock band Riot, or Riot 5 as they're called now. Now, in getting into this EP, we have 7 songs, and there's some really great variety here. The first song is an instrumental called Space Cadet, and it starts off with a countdown for a shuttle launch before we get this almost industrial sounding mid-tempo drum beat and rhythm with some incredible guitar soloing going on throughout the song. It's just under 2 minutes long, and it has a very sprawling and atmospheric feel. Great tone setter for sure. Very cool song. From there, we launch into a cover of a Riot song called Outlaw. This is the song featuring Ron Keel on vocals, and he sounds great. Steve just kills it here on guitar. Awesome up-tempo rocker with a killer rhythm guitar during the verse and this amazing extended solo to end the song. I loved it. Great job there, Steve. Next up, we get an Eric Clapton cover, After Midnight. Absolutely killer version of that song. It's a little slower to mid-tempo blues-based rocker with some awesome soloing accents and solos throughout the song. Also some killer harmonica accents. Steve's on vocals here. Steve, you sound great. I love your vocal style. Kind of that gritty hard rock vocal style. Just perfect for this song. Another absolutely killer guitar solo on that one. I have to say, Steve has a very emotive or expressive solo style. There's guys who play a million notes, and sometimes that fits a song perfectly. But then you have guys like, Pink Floyd's David Gilmour, who have that extremely emotional or expressive soloing style. I would say Steve's a great combination of both of those styles. There's definitely some fast playing and shredding here, but it's very emotive as well. So very, very cool stuff there. Next up, we get a cover of The Weight, originally put out by the band. I love that song, and Steve absolutely does it justice. I'd say this one has the same feel as the original in terms of being kind of a mid-tempo song with a slight lean into country music, but it also has a great updated feel as well. Definitely a modern take on an absolute classic, and it's great. I love it. Another fantastic vocal from Steve, and more great guitar accents and soloing throughout. I should also shout out the production on this album. Very crisp and clean. It's mixed and balanced perfectly. Just a great sounding album. From here, we get one called Sugarfoot Rag. It's an instrumental that was written by Hank Garland and Von Horton. Hank Garland's nickname was Sugarfoot, so some cool stuff there. It's about a minute and a half long. It has a country feel and twang to it, but a really, really cool song. More great soloing. The band sounds great. Shout out to drummer Brandon Alehite. I hope I said that right. He's a monster on this album. Just awesome stuff. From here, we get to a song I mentioned earlier, I'm Ready, which is a Frank Marino cover. And if you're going to cover Frank Marino, you better have some chops. And I am happy to report that Steve has the chops and then some. Just a blistering hard rocker with some killer guitar work throughout the song. Frank Marino would be proud. And in fact, on Steve's page, there's a quote from Frank Marino himself that reads, "Excellent. I'm personally flattered that Steve did my song, and Steve does an excellent job." So how cool is that? This was definitely a highlight for me on this album. From here, we come to the last song, a country-sounding ballad called My Guitar. This is a James Breedwell cover, and I have to say, beautiful song. Tells a great story. It's about 3.5 minutes long. It's Steve with an acoustic guitar, and again, just a beautiful song. Overall, Steve, thank you so much for sending me a copy of your EP. I loved it. Shout out to you. There's some killer rockers here, amazing guitar work throughout. The ballad is fantastic. I'd highly recommend this EP. Again, it can be found at www.stevepurcellmusic.com as well as on Bandcamp. And the song I'm Ready can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and anywhere you get your music. Again, that's Take Cover from Steve Purcell from 2026. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and follow, and we'll see you on the next video.